The world is ending tomorrow. That is what everyone was told. We panicked, of course, looted stores, got into accidents, went to confession, got drunk. The world is ending tomorrow. Some lay in bed with their loved ones, children, parents, pets. Others climbed the tallest buildings they could find. They wanted the last thing they saw to be a good view. Then the next day, we were told the same thing. The world is ending tomorrow. There was confusion, frustration. Some people went to work. Others did not believe it, or maybe they wanted to forget about it. Some people tried to travel to finally take that trip they had been putting off. They took out their savings, but the banks refused to give them their money. All the flights were booked. Children ran wild. No one saw the point in disciplining kids ever grow up. Scholars discussed the philosophical path laid before them. If their fate is to die tomorrow, what's the use of doing or not doing anything about it? The bigots blamed the gays, the immigrants, for the sinners for God's anger who could not take it anymore, exclaiming, "Enough is enough. This is the end." The liberals, they blamed climate change, capitalism, corruption. America blamed China, China blamed Russia, Russia blamed America. By the third day, people started to question if the world was really ending. But then a city went missing, a big black hole where 150,000 people had once lived. That made people take it seriously again. Maybe that was what the morning meant. Tomorrow is someone's last day. Best be prepared, for it could be yours. But people still go to work. Some have stopped paying their debts. They just focus on making themselves happy in the here and now. Some people, they are still planning for the future. They are saving for their homes, vacations, holidays, training for marathons or championships. There are still people planting apple trees. And there will always be. On this last Sunday of Lent, the Gospel invites us to face up to the reality I have just portrayed. The end of the world. As Jesus puts it, heaven and earth will pass away, but my words will not pass away. But of that day, that hour, no one knows, neither the angels in heaven nor the Son, but only the Father, when it will be. Yes, whatever we are, whatever we have or do in this life will indeed pass away. But it is just as true that whatever we have or do in this life will never pass away. No, this is not a contradiction. It is a life-giving paradox. Because God is the source of life. And therefore, whatever He creates, He never destroys. But He simply transforms it into something that better reflects His own image and likeness. It is what happens constantly in our human existence. The baby needs to die so that the child may be born. The child must disappear so that the young adolescent may bloom until the time arrives when they too will become mature adults, only to give way little by little, year by year, day by day, to become elderly persons. This is why life is a gift. Life is not a right. It is a gift to be received, but only to be given. In her simple but profound way, Mother Teresa has put it so beautifully. Life is opening one's hands to humbly receive what God gives and to freely offer what God asks of us. Woe to us if we try to grab life in the hope of possessing or controlling it. Christ's warning against this human temptation is clear and straightforward. He who hates his life will save it, but he who loves his life will lose it. This is the life-giving paradox that Jesus did not simply preach or teach, but he died that we may have life. Life is all about life. Life is all about life-giving, pure and simple. This Sunday, I invite you to take some time today. Just stay somewhere by yourself and recall what it means to you when you live it in your families, work, or simply with people whom you really love. Just stop to think what you have experienced when you forgot yourself and your self-interests for the sake of people you love, within or outside your families. Ask yourselves what it felt like to die to your own comfort, your own convenience, or even what you often thought you could never afford to let go of, for the sake of someone whom you really love. Then you will discover, or perhaps rediscover, the sheer joy of the only truth that gives meaning to our human and divine nature. It is only what you give up for someone you love that becomes truly and eternally yours. This is experiencing the end of time, not as the greatest loss, but as the greatest and most lasting gift. This is the eternal life that God has created us for. God bless you and thank you.